Yeah. Do you want to take the questions? That way no one can accuse me of being unfair. Yeah, you can, if you could answer the questions for me, I would very appreciate that. I'll take the questions for you, though. Yeah, you can spot pick. Sometimes I won't see if someone has got their hands up or something. Oh, I think originally New Waterford was sort of established by Irish immigrants who gave it the name. Yeah, they called it after their place in Ireland. But and then there were lots of Scottish people who came there, and then eventually, more than 100 different ethnic groups arrived at because they went to work in the mines and eventually the steel mills as well. So it became a very, very diverse place. But the core founding people were Irish and Scottish. And there were a lot of French people, too. Pardon me? Oh, the writing process, yeah. People always want to talk about that because everybody has to invent it for themselves and no one can really help anyone. Next question. No, you know what? It's just very, really, really, really hard work, and it requires a lot of patience, I mean, there are a lot of metaphors for it. Toilet training a child, fishing. There's a lot. It takes a lot of time, and I think a lot of the discipline really is about being patient and making yourself available, and also knowing when you have to change your focus, maybe read something, maybe feed your imagination rather than trying to put out all the time. And routine is good. I think routine helps. And it's just very, very hard and isolating work to write anything, I think. Whether you're writing fiction or a play or a report or an essay, I think it's all very, very difficult. And there are moments, when it happens, but I always find, like, if I get one of those nuggets or one of those moments, it usually is an indication to me that it might be beautiful, but I don't know really where it belongs, and a great deal of work has to happen to sort of build the setting or the context for this vision or this character, and that is very, very difficult. Yeah, just patience, and a lot of faith, because it's very easy to abandon an idea halfway through. Oh, well, it really is a quote from the Christmas Carol, because I knew it would boost book sales when it was played at Indigo, which hadn't even been invented then, but I must have known. Long before the days of Chapter Indigo. I actually decided on the title before I started writing the book, because I thought it would make a great title, because I heard Mario Lanza singing it at Christmas, and every time we heard Mario Lanza sing, my mother would say he was such a nice boy, good to his mother, which was code for gay. And he had this voice, and he died tragically. Anyway, so Mario Lanza, layers of meaning, really. And he was singing, "Fall on Your Knees, Oh, Hear the Angel's Voice, O Night Divine," and it's very high point, and it's the most dramatic of all Christmas carols. And I just loved it, and there was all that kind of subversion that was encoded in his rendering of it for me. And so I thought that would make a great title. I should write a book to go with it and spend 7 years toiling in obscurity because of that. So I did. And now, actually, when I am Christmas shopping and I am in a bookstore and they're playing that, I think that was clever marketing. Oh. The first image of, I'm trying to repeat your question cleverly. Where did I get that idea? Was in terms of writing from the crow's perspective? Well, when you're going to describe something as distressing as that image, it's just how I saw it, too. I saw it from that kind of distance, and I wondered that was the first image that arrived in my imagination, the first image that eventually unfolded and became this book. And when I get an image like that, I interrogate it. I look at it as if I were a detective. I try to find out as much about what the context is as possible. And one of the questions I ask is, who's looking at this picture? Who took the picture? And that's a rather chilling question. And this picture is some hours after her death. And so I figured the perpetrator is gone. So who's there? And who's looking at it objectively, not cruelly, but not necessarily, not compassionately, just coolly, with interest. And that seemed to me to be a kind of crow-like perspective. And also, I wanted to somehow evoke, however, maybe even inadequately, or however, in a kind of small way, the idea that we're not alone, that our human perspective isn't everything. And that was really what the title was about. You know, the way the crow flies is we say that, you know, that's the most direct route. But the way the crow flies as well is crows fly and they really notice what's on the ground. And when we fly, especially when we get to places like the moon, or when we're sending missiles across vast distances to destroy other people and, you know, parts of the earth, we're not looking down. You know, looking at the target, but kind of missing the journey. And I guess that was also in my mind.